Hello, my name is Mark Bruley. I am Vice President for Accident and Forensic Investigation at ECRI Institute in suburban Philadelphia in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. I'm here today to follow up the February 19, 2014 webinar that ECRI Institute presented on blanket warmers, balancing patient comfort and patient safety. Joining me in that webinar were Ms. Georgine Saliba, the Administrator for Risk Management and Patient Safety at Lehigh Valley Health System near Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Ms. Lisa Durfee, the Perioperative Nurse Educator at Inspira Medical Center. We've reviewed the questions from the Q&A session from the webinar and present today highlights of some of the more significant questions, and the answers, of course, for your use in moving forward with safe application of warmed blankets and solutions in some cases from blanket warming cabinets.
With 130 as a recommended maximum temperature, is there a suggested range of set temperatures such as 120 to 130 or 130 plus or minus 5?
ECRI Institute's recommended maximum temperature is 130 degrees Fahrenheit. In regard to a range of temperatures that any one hospital may wish to set in regard to ensuring patient comfort and safety, certainly a range of 120 to 130 is acceptable. If you're looking in regard to a plus or minus tolerance for the maximum level of 130, plus or minus 5 degrees Fahrenheit is reasonable based on the variations in what you might be measuring during routine inspection and preventive maintenance. From a policy standpoint, as the question asks, the issue relates to making sure that you do not have a policy that exceeds 130 as it relates to the maximum temperature for the blanket section of warming cabinets. In regard to solution warming cabinets for irrigation solutions and other liquid medications, ECRI's recommendation has been 110 degrees. So make sure that you do not put the fluids in the warming cabinet section, and that will help ensure that the fluids themselves are heated to an appropriate temperature. Or certainly for the fluids, you should check with the maximum recommended temperature for whatever fluid you're placing in there. Check the temperature from the manufacturer for that particular product.
Do we need to track and log the daily temperatures for blanket warmers?
In regard to tracking or logging the temperatures of blanket warmers, as we understand it, there are no recommended practices or requirements for doing that on a daily basis or even a weekly basis. If you want to ensure that your set temperatures are being adhered to based on your policy and procedure for the ECRI Institute recommended maximum temperature of 130, then after you institute that policy, you may wish on a weekly basis to look at the temperatures and make sure that they have not been set above 130, plus or minus 5. But as far as actually tracking it and logging it is concerned, we're not aware of any requirements to do so. However, certainly on an annual basis, as ECRI Institute has recommended in its inspection and preventive maintenance procedure for warming cabinets, at that time, the set temperature would be logged as well as measured.
Our health center has found discrepancy with the heat circulation in some of our blanket warming cabinets. Is there a documented temperature testing procedure for blanket warming cabinets?
In regard to inspection and preventive maintenance and the quantitative testing of temperatures in warming cabinets, ECRI Institute has published for decades a procedure for warming cabinet inspection. That procedure and the associated form that goes with it is available to those who viewed the video and those who purchase it separately. In that preventive maintenance and inspection procedure for warming cabinets, we recommend that the temperature sensing device that you're using be placed near the inlet of the warm air to the cabinet itself. Now, in some cases, there's not a specific warm air source, but it's radiant heating of the cabinet. In that case, place your temperature sensor near the circulating fan where it blows into the chamber. Place it somewhat near it, maybe 6 inches away, and it may take several hours for that warming cabinet to stabilize its temperature if it has started from room temperature. In most cases, you'll be testing the cabinets after they've already been in use for weeks, days, or years, and it will take perhaps a half hour to ensure that you have a steady state temperature inside that cabinet measured near the circulating fan inlet.
At our hospital, we've seen patient gowns with metal snaps put in blanket warmers. That seems like a bad idea. Is it?
We've not previously heard of patient gowns being placed in warming cabinets, nor those with metal snaps, to be more specific. If a metal snap is heated to 130 degrees, given the very small volume or mass of a metal snap, it's not likely to cause a burn. However, it would be better if you did not have any metals at all inside a warming cabinet set at around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're going to warm some patient gowns, it's best that they not have any metal snaps on them. That being said, we've never heard of a burn from a metal snap on a warmed patient gown.
Are there other safe alternatives to cotton blankets that would provide better patient comfort and prevention of thermal losses without being warmed? For example, polar fleece or other materials. Are there infection control or fire risks?
Let me deal with the fire risk first. Even though we have warming cabinets for the cotton blankets or perhaps some cotton polyester blend that might be in there, we're not aware of any fire risks specific to different types of materials that might be used for blankets that are warmed for patients. However, the infection control risks from a standpoint of being able to effectively launder and clean and dry the different materials such as polar fleece, from a clinical perspective, as the clinicians who were participating in this webinar said, it is an infection control concern. And from a standpoint of being able to effectively and economically launder products, blankets that are going to be placed on the patient, cotton blankets seem to be preferred. To that end, the polar fleece and the other materials, unless you've been able to validate that there's no infection control concern with the laundering, then we would recommend sticking with cotton or cotton polyester blend. That ends the questions, and I thank you for your attention. What we've presented are the technical perspectives on patient comfort and safety from ECRI Institute, as well as the risk management perspectives from Georgine Saliba at Lehigh Valley Health System, and the perioperative nursing education issues from Lisa Durfee at Inspira Medical Center. We all appreciate your having taken the time to understand these issues for implementing the new recommendations for 130 degrees Fahrenheit for blanket warmers. And further information about the webinar is available at the web address at the end of this presentation. Thank you.